actually dunked on a guy.
Well, he's got to kill himself. He's got to end it.
Why?
Who's your favorite female basketball player?
I think Tamika Catchings.
I know Tamika Catchings.
Who is your favorite women's basketball player, Kevin?
Tamika Catchings. Who else do you like?
So I don't think I can.
So you can't admire another player because you play against him?
I mean, are you going to name another comedian as your favorite?
Of course. Dave Chappelle.
Okay, well, you're different. You've proven that.
Nope, I'm just not an...
Okay, Kevin, move on.
This is a touchy subject.
Tell me who to like and who not to.
Somebody ring the sensitive bell.
This moment was just meant to make a bunch of funny jokes, and suddenly it became a personal attack. I mean, come on, man. Do I admire somebody? Yeah, Poor Man Podcast. Great YouTube channel.
28 years for Abdiaziz Farra, now one of the longest prison sentences for white-collar crime in the state's history. Among more than 70 defendants, prosecutors put him at the top of a $300 million fraud pyramid, with the likes of feeding our future founder Amy Bach and Salim Saeed. Now, Abdiaziz Farra is headed to federal prison for 28 years for his role in stealing taxpayer money meant to help feed kids during the pandemic.
Wait, what? You guys know me. I'm a grifter for kids.
Judge Nancy Brazel saying in court, "I cannot find any reason for the behavior other than pure unmitigated greed."
Not only took tens of millions of dollars, but laundered much of it abroad and sent much of it to Kenya, among other things.
Lead prosecutor Joe Thompson was asking for 30 years, calling it the kind of nightmare in Minnesota, where he recently told 5 Eyewitness News government fraud overall could exceed $1 billion.
I mean, I would not say all Somalians do it. Maybe he bought a few houses, but I'm not sure they're going to get that money back either, because maybe he already sent them to Somalia.
Does a sentence like this one get you any closer to recovering more money for taxpayers?
Well, it speeds it up. Now that he's been sentenced, we can actually execute on that forfeiture, sell that property off, and return it to the taxpayers.
With his family in the gallery at the federal courthouse in Minneapolis, Farra said, "I want to apologize to the state and the country that has given me so much."
Are you sure?
But that apology focused largely on his admitted attempt to bribe a juror at the end of his trial last year.
I don't think you're sorry to the country. You're just sorry that the country found out that you might be sending money to a different country. Simple.
The sense I got was he's sorry he got caught.
The U.S. Attorney's Office estimates they've been able to get back $60 to $70 million so far, but prosecutors point out that money Farra sent overseas will likely never be recovered.
I didn't even finish the news, but I'm a pattern recognition expert. That's it.
Legal.
Is what legal?
You giving legal advice?
You can give legal
Yes.
advice?
In Georgia?
Yes.
Because in California, you can't give legal advice if you're not the...
Well, I'm a lawyer, so I can answer I can have conversations with people about legal issues.
Oh, it's a conversation. You can give legal information, but
Correct.
not legal advice.
Right. Is there something you have a question, something I can help you with, or?
Oh, no, I have nothing in regard to the law. Information, but you can't get legal advice because that would make they can make the argument that you are their attorney, right?
Correct, but if you come up to me and you're asking me about a legal situation, right, that's no different than any conversation you'd have if you called an attorney's office and was like, hey, let me ask you about the situation I have going on. You're explaining to me what your situation is, and I'm pointing you in the right direction for how to handle it. I'm not taking on your case. I'm not doing the work for you, right? Also, for what it's worth, there's a very clear disclaimer on the sign that says, I am a lawyer and I'm not your lawyer.
It's so small, though. Like, who's really going to look at it? Everybody's asking. No,
everyone sees it.
Yeah. Really?
Are either y'all attorneys?
Huh? It doesn't matter.
When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
I'll be honest. I don't understand why you're talking. If you're not a lawyer. I don't understand.
Attorneys?
Huh? It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just sees it, not your lawyer.
It's so small, though. Like, who's really going to look at it? Everybody's asking. No,
everyone sees it.
Yeah. Really?
Are either y'all attorneys?
Huh? It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just curious as to why you're arguing with me about the rules.
I'm from California. But
great, but this is Georgia.
Different laws.
But you're arguing with me about, like, you're coming at me like I'm doing something wrong.
I'm aware of that.
Okay.
One thing I learned in life, never debate somebody about a job as if you are also doing that job in a different state, and your defense later is, I'm from a different state and I don't practice the same job that I'm telling you you're doing something wrong.
Get out! Just go!
Remember to subscribe.
¿Por qué?
I will die on this hill. I'm specifically talking about the Inga here. We're not talking about the Mexica. That's a whole separate type of sacrifice. If we're just looking at Tawantinsuyu, the Quechua people of the Incan Empire, they practiced sacrifices like most other civilizations throughout history did in times of crisis. So famine, natural disasters. But the unique thing about the Quechua is that when you're looking at like the Incan civilization, you essentially have the elites and then you have everyone else. Sacrifices were volunteers from the elite class because they believed that the elites were closer to the gods and could therefore appease them better. Also, in terms of sacrifice, they were kind about it.
The moment she was talking about the higher class sacrificing, and then you add also, hear me out. Yeah, I'm hearing you all right. I just don't trust you at all.
Because unlike the Mexica, when you're like ripping out a still beating heart out of someone's chest, the Inca would intentionally use coca leaves and would use chicha and would drug up the sacrifice and then leave them on a mountain, a cold, chilly mountain, to be exposed to the elements. Which, if you're good, a volunteer sacrifice where you're heavily drugged before you die.
I've never seen somebody talk about something like this as if it's normal. You didn't feel anything. But the moment she said it was normal for people in higher class because they're closer to God, it feels political. Like somebody is trying to justify that the rich people need to give more taxes.
Also, I mean, I can equate human sacrifice throughout history to so many things. And I think the fact that a lot of people are commenting, oh, but the sacrifice is again indicative of the fact that you have received a quite white education. I knew it! Because you are knowing them for the bad things that they have done and not all of the wonders that they accomplished. So I hope that this maybe helps you understand a different part of my most favorite civilization of all time, the Inca.
The whole idea that you want to soften the blow the way you're thinking like the left-leaning people, you didn't feel anything. It's the same way the right-leaning people were thinking if the old people live long enough, they might be ready to go to heaven because the lockdown is not worth it. Both are crazy. But the idea that anybody wants to talk about this like, I'm going to see you in heaven. You're not going to feel anything. Don't do that because people in the center are going to call you out.
Tell us to stop eating out and rent's $2,000 a month. Oh, save for retirement, and yet you can barely save for next week. Go buy a house. Yep, every house is $500,000, brother. I'm not asking for a handout, man. We're asking for a freaking fair shot at life. Our parents did not work harder than we work right now. They were simply just given a better chance. Their wages covered their lives, their bills, their hobbies, their passions. Our wages barely cover our freaking bills for the month, dude. No amount of budgeting can ever fix a system designed to keep us down. We're doing the best that we can, and yet it feels like the outcome has already been decided.
Within less than 24 hours, this post went viral. And I think he's right. The system wasn't meant to be this design, but the system is supported by the previous design. They don't really need you anymore. And if they needed you, they would have to pay more. So they replaced you with lower wages by other people that are more open to do that job because you won't do it because it's your human right, but they think they might be saving other people. Because I actually asked one time ChatGPT, why is it that so many people have issues paying their medical bill, but when refugees come or asylum seekers, there's way more help? And ChatGPT just told me they have a different funding for the citizen and a different funding for the illegals or asylum seeker. I'm like, So you're not helping certain people not because you can't, you're just helping the people that you can because it gets more attention, which usually means you will get more votes. Now a lot of things make sense. This in USA, bada beam bush bash, undocumented they're not chased for the bills. In Canada, bada beam boo bash, not officially covered, but many clinics treat them for free. In United Kingdom, emergency care is free, others may be charged, but often not pursued. In Germany, can get emergency care, but limited. Okay, at least I'm thinking a little more about that. And ladies and gentlemen, I asked in ChatGPT, why? Why do they help them more? And it gave me a very blunt answer. So it's not that citizens are treated better, it's that citizens are treated worse because the system sees them as a source of profit. Is it political? Yes, 100%. This issue is also political and gets way more attention than the actual number justifies. Ta-ta!
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Durlo que ta verde ta welcome.